Welcome to Bharat Times Transnational webinar series. This is the 12th one for the year of 2021. And the topic today is how to not create an ego. And so far, we have done all the webinars starting on Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Canada and 8 p.m. Delhi time, India. We're going to, so next one will be our last one for this year. And then we're going to take a small break for Christmas and New Year. And we will be back in the year 2022 to welcome you back again in January. So we will be having one on January 15th. And we will keep you posted when we have our next one. That's next Saturday on December 18th, 2021. So let's get started with today's topic. And the presenters are Dr. Ram Sharma. He's the Associate Professor and the Head of Department of English in UP, India. And he's also the editor of two very prestigious journals. And we also have Renu Sharma. She's a certified yoga teacher in Vancouver, BC, Canada, and myself, and the editor of Bharat Times. And that's been going on since 2003. So let's get started with today's topic, which is how to not create an ego. So, well, we should perhaps get more hands-on to the subject as well, how to not create an ego. That means we're talking about how to not do how not to do is to create an ego. And it actually kind of makes it sounds like as if ego is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. No, it's basically, in a way, it could be seen as a reflection of yourself too. However, it's just when it's overly inflated, that is when the ego becomes bad. So everybody has heard of the term egocentrism, which is the inability to differentiate between self and the other, meaning you're only understanding your own perspective, but not anybody else's perspective, right? So in the steps to not create an ego, we must go to the opposite of what creates an ego. So the opposite of an inflated opinion of oneself, one full of oneself, would be humility, humbleness, modesty. Yeah. So we all need ego, but we don't need an overly inflated ego. We don't need a false view of ourselves. Our ego needs to be regulated. It needs to be balanced. A person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance, it needs to be balanced and regulated in such that we don't, impose ourselves on people at the point of, I guess, forging into their freedom. And it does have different definitions. There's psychoanalysis, which says the part of mind, that ego is the part of mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious, and it is responsible for a reality testing and a sense of personal identity. So yes, we do need it, but again, there's limit to where we should, stop. And then in philosophy, in metaphysics, it's just a conscious thinking subject, which is us. So in different, I guess, in different subjects, it does have slightly different definition. However, it does point to the same thing, that a false view of ourselves, a reality that just like surrounds us. It's kind of like when you talk about just me all the time, it's I did this, I'm important, this, that is when it becomes problematic. Okay. And in yoga, there's a lot to be said on this subject of ego, and how to not create an ego refers to how to basically how to balance this thing. So we in yoga, we a lot of the times we talk about balancing chakras, or in meditation we talk about balancing the chakras, the ones we have. And it's a third chakra, that is the solar plexus chakra, that is said to be the core of our ego, our identity, our personality. And it's right between your navel and your solar plexus, and it's basically right on your stomach, which is the center of our willpower and the energy center to many organs like stomach, kidneys, pancreas, livers. So that's where it stands, that chakra, the third chakra, the solar plexus chakra. And the when the emotion of ego, that me feeling, when it's threatened, it puts more pressure on the navel chakra, and it causes lesser energy flow to the organs which are related to it. So there'll be less energy flow to the stomach, liver, kidneys, pancreas, and that leads to problems. And it's not just that it causes less energy flow just in this, because in this one, then it will not give the good energy flow to the chakras above, because once it's stuck there, then we can't go to the ones above, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye. So solar plexus chakra, it's also called Manipur chakra, and it's located in the abdomen, on the stomach part. So the signs when it is out of balance, obvious. If it's on the stomach, it is if you have digestive problems, if you have like chronic fatigue, you're just tired all the time, or you have any gallbladder issues or things like that, or you have like inner critic all the time, or you have constant fear of rejection. That is when you know that it's not in balance. Okay. Even according to psychology, it's fear and having not any sense of worth can create an ego. Okay. So we get our chakra in balance. And if it is in balance, the chakra, then you feel self-respect and self-compassion. So that's, again, those are the terms we can use to say how to not create an ego, by creating self-respect and self-compassion, okay? Creating one's own worth, according to psychologists. So when we get it balanced, the solar plexus chakra, it allows us to open to the information we are unaware of, things we don't even know, we don't know. And once we open up to the information, there's, to the information, the sky is the limit. So it gives us the courage, the will, the confidence to, to go and explore. And if it's a balanced chakra, it allows us to trust that trust the goodness in the world as well, and that there are whole possibilities there. And we will value the other person's opinion just as well as ours. And it helps us feel empowered. Okay. And so we need to balance our chakras, specifically the solar plexus chakra that is related to ego. And there are also some exercises as well. And this might seem maybe funny to psychology, the discipline of psychology, I would say, to psychologists then, but it works. And so what happens is, physically, you're working on your core work. You're working on your abdomen. You're bringing that back in balance, the solar plexus, okay? So you can even tell yourself, I am worthy. I have self-worth. I do have self-respect. So you need to learn that. And sometimes it so happens that we need to say it out loud to actually, to have that sense and to feel that compassion towards what we want and stuff. And that's one thing one can do. And the other one is just, you can practice the breath of fire. That's breathing. Okay, breathing exercises. We went through the last We went through three webinars for regarding to the importance of breathing. So just even regular breathing, or because I said the practice the breath of fire, that would be like the rapid, continuous breathing through your nostrils, but mouth always closed. So inhale, exhale, equally in length, and don't put any pause between them. So okay, let's look at it psychologically, because when somebody is mad, or, when somebody's on an ego trip, we can say they'll feel maybe jealous or angry or something, and this calms them down, because we always say, okay, breathe, take a breather, okay, calm down, breathe. So these are things we generally say. So it is the practice of the breath of fire. So start by sitting tall, and so that will lengthen the space between your navel and your heart. And because if you slouch, it's all going to come together. So sit tall, and so there can be more space, and then you inhale, exhale. Again, I would advise have a yoga teacher. They can guide you better with this. So even for a couple of minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes every day, even that can help. And so that was about the solar plexus. And then meditation is also supposed to, it's that further, that's where yoga leaves, the meditation comes in. And that can also help you not create ego. And again, we should be careful that it doesn't mean that it's going to kill the ego, because ego is not a bad thing. We just need to have it balanced and regulated. So meditation, what it does is it gives you awareness practice. It allows one to see the nature of the ego, that it's a construct of our mind, okay? And it can allow you to let go of believing that you are the one and the same as ego. So you have some clarity in your mind, and so that you can come to grips with the ego part. And it's basically also helps you to let go of your ego. That means you are not putting any conditions on your happiness. You're not saying, I'm happy because of this, I'm happy because of that. Because meditation, it does lead to contentment, that you feel satisfied, you feel happy, and you feel that cosmic joy. It's not coming because I have a car, because I have a house, because of this. It's cosmic joy. It's the joy that we all enjoy without tying it to any conditions. And so that's how it helps to balance our ego. And similarly, in psychology, they talk and they increase your sense of worth. That I have self-respect, I am good, I have self-compassion, things like that. And they also teach you how to value yourself more and how to believe in yourself more. And in spirituality, it just makes you believe, and it makes you refocus yourself in the cosmic world, in the whole of cosmos. When we look at the whole cosmos and even imagine that, it's like we are nowhere in there, meaning it's not that we're not in there, it's like we're a small tiny speck. We can't even see ourselves. So why should we have these inflated egos and false view of ourselves? Because we are in collectivity, right? So by realizing how little you are, spirituality helps you to grow in collectivity and for the collectivity as well. And the end part, I would say, it helps you to be emotionally well grounded. Whether it's psychology, psychoanalysis, meditation, yoga, anything, that's how to not create an ego is about being emotionally well grounded, because that will make you spiritually well grounded. And that will balance and regulate our ego, and we will have more modesty and humbleness. And again, you have respect for yourself, you'll have respect for others too. Okay, so that's my take on how to not create an ego today. And let's see what Renuji has to say about that.
Thank you, Monica ji.
Mhm.
This topic is about how not to create ego. Some people think ego is an enemy. Some people think ego is environmental friendly, and some people think ego is just friendly. It all depends on the situation sometimes, but what we can um, control in our own hands, thoughts, actions, everything, and then you can become creative and humble and clear-headed. And in this everyday daily living, we go through ego in our with living with people, living with family, and ego is a bigger culprit in all the arguments and all that. And sometimes when we have somebody over, or we go over to somebody friend's house, and we have to make sure that we give everybody even chance to talk. But what if we are egoistic? What we do, we will just keep on talking for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. When you know that nobody is saying anything, everybody's quiet, you are the only talking, then you realize, oh my God, oh, am I talking only? Nobody else has to say anything. People have to say something, but you have to shut up, kind of thing. Be quiet, like, so you can give other people a chance. And sometimes the ego hits us when we think we are better than other people.
Mhm.
We have better knowledge than other people, we're doing better than other people. That is also ego. And sometimes we think our house is better than other people. These people, we went to their house is so clean and all that. Even this house is so dirty or clean, even you make comments about that, that is your ego is talking. Because you go to somebody's house, somebody treats you, and leave it up to that hospitality and be grateful. But do not talk about that oh, I went to their house, they made this, that didn't taste good. People usually, when they sit in discussion and they just time out kind of thing with friends, that's all they do. They just complain about everything they have done during the week, they have done during the month, or they always bring when you have a very small mind, I think, then you talk about ego, and you talk with the ego also. Your mind is very small. Your mind, it does not go beyond that. How you can take care of ego, how you can kill the ego, which is taking over your life. And sometimes we ego comes that you blame everybody else except yourself for your problems, because that's one thing I have seen. People who are egoistic, they always blame, oh, so and so did this, that's why I did this. So and so is responsible for that, because that is a prime example in my own family I see. And um, I don't think that's right, because once you realize why the person is blaming you for his own mistakes, for his own downfalls, then you know that you are not to blame. You are on the right track, but the other person is not. And how do you kill the other person's ego? Other person's ego you will kill by not responding. Let him say the peace. He can just find the peace himself, because peace in mind is very important, right? And peace is important to me, so I will just stay quiet. I will not combat. And other things, some people are very arrogant. Arrogant is the word for ego, because when you are arrogant, and you can see it in your voice, and your tone of voice is very rigid, very strong, and there is no politeness at all. And sometimes people say, oh, this is how I talk. This is not how you talk. You can humble yourself. You can soften yourself. Your tone of voice has to be very right for people to listen to. If we are going to say, this is how I talk, then don't talk. Be quiet, because it causes many many arguments, many fights, many quarrels in the families, or in the workplace. Even in the workplace, like people are very condescending to each other, and which is not right, which creates very disrespectful workplace for everybody. And same thing applies at home too. Our home is our workplace at home. And if we are not diligently remembering these things, that we have to be creative, we have to be sober, we have to be clear-minded, and we have to be very creative kind of thing, and then these things won't happen, then everything goes smooth. And whenever I was thinking few things that we can talk about. One thing is when you go to work and you have a project to work on, and you want to offer your expertise into that, and but you don't want to tell people, oh, you know it all, let's do it my way. My way is the best way. That's not the thing, because you have to, when you start doing a project, you first figure out or sort out everybody's temperament, everybody's different nature, and you will figure it out in a few minutes, because some people will say, okay, let's do it my way. We should offer that, let's do it as a beginner's guide. Everybody is new here, so we just take it from there. Then expertise will come in slowly to do the project. And the other thing, we can do our best effort into everything. Do your best effort, the results will come. If results are not very, not what you want, but at least you will know you put the best effort. Your mind is at peace. Success is by peace of mind. And some people do get the success by having peace of mind, and some people get success by winning, by torturing other people. And those kind of things are never in a peaceful way. They become our ego. And the other thing I always think about, we always choose purpose over passion. Why do we do that? Because passion can always runs dry. And but when people work with the purpose, that this is the purpose of my life, this is the purpose of my today's day, we put the best effort in there. We don't talk about result, we don't talk about any other directions, and we just put our best effort. And better to have clear-headed purpose than having a passion. Passion is driving you, but passion should not be driving you that far that it becomes an ego. Okay. And because we have to have a purpose of doing things first, because sometimes we say, oh, this is my passion. Passion makes you egoistic. If you are not thinking about it, what is my passion? Well, passion is also your purpose. What is your purpose? Fulfill your purpose first, then your passion will follow you. And then also sometimes we doing some kind of project, and we just keep talking, and then we don't get to work. And things should be, we have to face the work. Don't talk about it, just face the work. Then things will be getting done. And also we have to kill our pride, and we have to clear our head. If there is some pride in our mind, and then we won't be able to serve what we came here for. And if you have so much pride in your mind, and you will become egoistic, and that you might humiliate other people in that. And you don't think, like with your gestures, with your actions. Ego comes in silence too, because sometimes you sit like that. People sit, they cross your arms in front of their arm, and I find that very egoistic. Like you have shut down your solar plexus, and you are hiding it, all your emotions, and you are not sharing them with other people. And but you are just listening to them or staring at them, like that's not very right, because I find that that becomes person very egoistic. And also sometimes we start telling our story. We don't listen to anybody else. We think, this is how I perceive it. This is my perception. That's the way to do it. And then you don't listen to anybody else. Please stop telling a story. It depends where you tell the story. You have been asked to tell the story. Some people tell the story in such a way it becomes entertaining. When it becomes entertaining, and then after that you think, oh, this guy talks all the time, never give me a chance to say anything. I was entertained by her. She was good. Maybe she has a charisma of speaking, public speaking, and but if for other people it becomes egoistic, or this person talked and never gave me a chance, but we don't know what's going through this person. In egoistic, sometimes you need to be told that this is not the way it is, and we have to have our input also. And when that happens, then the person will realize. But when you do it in a way that you don't become egoistic. You tell politely, you tell very compassionately, can we please turn to this side? Can we just talk about that side? You can just detour a little bit and without offending anybody. And then the person might learn from you, because we can also learn about ego and teach about ego to each other, because it's all the time, because we are just human being. We always think, oh, this is the way I always have done. Oh yeah, this is a better way of doing it. We also have to leave some leverage for other people to teach us. And we also have to be anxious to learn also that other people also have a better way too. And sometimes we learn, we could be brilliant, and but we don't know how to manage, because manage is the what will which will be make you creative and less egoistic. Because sometimes we have all the knowledge, but we don't know how to relay the knowledge. We will be going all over the place about talking about some a topic, and which is not becoming very concrete for people to learn, right? So we have to learn how we organize our skills, how we organize our thoughts, and how do we succeed in that topic when we talk about it. And we also have to learn how to know what matters to you. And instead of sometimes somebody tells us something, we just have a negative thoughts about it. Oh no, this is not the way it is, but you have to know what matters to you. But that's not the way it matters to other people also, because it's you only thinking like that. But when you broad-minded, and your mind goes into average kind of you have average mind, then you will think about ideas, but not about having a small mind. Just talk about people's thoughts and actions, and criticize them, condemn their endeavors, and those kind of things. Okay, and then when we do something, we should always think about putting our best effort, and do not talk about any credit that I won, oh I did this. Sometimes the people say, oh, what did you do today? Oh, I did this. And regardless, who helped you in that matter, it never comes up. You say like Monica you said earlier, like people talk about I. Once we get rid of once we become we get less egoistic. Then we know it's a team player kind of thing. We are acting as a team, because then there is no ego, because then we are standing strong with more unity, because we use the we did not use I, because when you use I, that's egoistic. I did this, okay. When somebody's talking, then we always say, can we talk about something else? We talk about something else, because not you talk about something else, we together talk about together, right? So that becomes that's not ego. That's, you want to take part as a team player. You don't want one person to go on and on and on about it. Let's talk about something else we all agree with, we all can take part in. And we always to do, some people, when they are very egoistic, and they think only about themselves, what I say is the best, what I say is the right way. And those people should take a walk in the nature. Nature will tell them, how much more is to their life than being right all the time. Even you are wrong, you want to be right, because that's the way ego works. And if you connect with the nature, you go out there, you reconnect with the world, you go towards the ocean, you go near the water, you listen to the water, that will bring you inner peace, and that will put a little damper on your egoistic. Why do I think like that? This nature is so serene, so beautiful, and I need to connect with the nature. I need to touch the nature. When some people when they're too egoistic, they should start playing with the dirt, start playing with the plants, and take care of the plants, talk to the plants. And that also kills so much ego in you, that you've been carrying it all along. And I find that way, because when I try to get away from an egoistic person, I still play with the dirt, play with the plants, and that brings me down, because there's no point for us to bulldoze anybody or sabotage anybody's ideas. It's just acceptance. Acceptance is the key to success. Accept it with your heart. Even you did not like it, that person said those things according to his own thinking, because this is how far he can think. Maybe everybody's intellect is very different. Some people are very intellectual. Some people I have seen are very intellectual, but they still come down with ego, because what's the point of being intellectual if you have so much ego burning inside all your thoughts and ideas? And and sometimes we need to let go of control. Sometimes we have so much control over some issues that we want to do. Even in our family situation, some parents can be so much controlling too, or this is the way kids have to do. But when kids will do it while they are living in the family, but there's so much rebelliousness comes out, and so much revolution ideas come out in the mind, because they've been controlled. Because we have to give everybody a chance to say their piece, to speak their mind, because once we don't speak our mind, it gets suppressed and suppressed. And sometimes when we get older, it becomes we come out as a very egoistic person and very strong person, because we have been suppressed our thoughts for so long, and now it's time for them to get out. And we don't realize, some egos are built in from our childhood, because it's been working inside of us, and we have no way to let it out. And if you are living with a family or friends, make sure that we help each other. Help each other not to be egoistic. There is a way of telling people. There is a way of making other people realize, just calm down, just calm down, just don't go too hard on yourself. When you see egoistic person, you always tell them, do not go too hard on yourself. Take it easy. Take it easy. We're trying to tell them, just soften up. Don't just think about yourself. Don't just think about your ideas only. Other people also have ideas. Let's think about them, and let's collaborate other people's ideas in our also in our thinking also. So life will be more peaceful. Life will be more acceptable for other people also. And so there's so much to say about ego. Ego could be a power. Ego could be your enemy, and ego could be destroy you, or ego can take you up too. If you try to lift people also, and that's not an ego, but you're helping them to just get up and just get stronger and all that. But that ego is good when you're trying to help somebody to lift up their spirits. That's totally different. And that ego is acceptable everywhere. But when the ego becomes the control and becomes like there's nothing better than me, nothing better than what I am saying, that has become enemy ego, and you could be losing your friends and your family and all sorts of things in your life. But to make sure that we always keep control, keep the clock on our ego, that how fast it's going, don't let it go too fast, just go minute by minute. Okay. And so I think this is all I have to say. This is so much to say. Monica ji said so much. I said a few things, and now Dr. Sharma is here to talk about how not to create ego. Let's pass it back to Monica. And okay, Monica.
Thank you, MJ. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a beautiful explanation in everyday life and how to deal with it. Thank you. Dr. Ram Sharma, please let's hear from you.
I'm here.
On how to create ego. Welcome.
Yeah, here time is almost 9 p.m. and there might be good morning. So good morning to you all.
Thank you.
And be happy, smile. It's a wonderful topic, ego. I have written one poem. I want to recite it at the first. Everyone is living in I. Everyone is carrying the burden of pride and self within him. Can anyone has explored I? Has anyone distinguished himself? Give up this I. Love every mankind. Convert I and illness. I am because we are. The most dangerous word, the letter is I. That brings illness. Convert the letter I into we. As soon as the letter I is converted into we, illness becomes wellness. And then what we have to do, we have to leave this word E and let it go. We have to separate this ego. Separate the word E and let the ego go. Okay, then I want to start what is ego. There are several types of egos. I am superior. There are so many types of academic egos. Even in spirituality, there are also egos. इसी पे मैं एक कहानी आपको नरेट करना चाहूंगा। एक साधु था, नदी का एक किनारा था, एक तरफ साधु का आश्रम था, दूसरी तरफ प्रोस्टिट्यूट का अड्डा था। साधु सुबह उठ के पूजा पाठ, घंटी बजाना, शंख बजाना, पूजा पाठ करता रहता था और सामने प्रोस्टिट्यूट को देखकर कोसता भी रहता था कि मैं किस वातावरण में, मेरे सामने ये प्रोस्टिट्यूट कहाँ से आ गई है, मैं कितने उसमें खराब फंसा हुआ हूँ। प्रोस्टिट्यूट अपने कार्य में एंगेज रहती थी। बोथ ऑफ देम डाइड वन डे एंड दे वर वेंट। सामने लाया गया उन्हें। तो आपको अचंबा होगा, हेवन और हेल किसे मिलना चाहिए? साधु को हेवन मिलना चाहिए या प्रोस्टिट्यूट को हेल मिलना चाहिए? लेकिन वहां क्या हुआ, पूछा गया भाई इन्हें क्या दिया जाए, तो जो साधु थे उन्हें हेल दिया गया। तो कारण पूछा गया, इसका क्या कारण है? कि ये जो साधु थे ये अपने हमेशा एकेडमी की अपनी ईगो में रहते थे कि आई एम द बॉस, आई एम द सुपीरियर, आई नो सो मेनी थिंग्स, आई एम द प्योर पर्सन, आई एम द प्योर सोल। और वो कोसते भी रहते थे सामने देख के कि मेरे सामने क्या एक प्रोस्टिट्यूट है, वो कितनी खराब है, कैसे कैसे वो खराब काम कर रही है। दूसरी तरफ एक प्रोस्टिट्यूट क्या सोचती थी सारे दिन कि मैं कितना खराब, मेरे कर्मों की गति है कि मुझे ये सब झेलना पड़ रहा है। काश मैं भी उस आश्रम में रहती, मैं भी भगवान में ध्यान लगा पाती। तो ये हमारी मोमेंट टू मोमेंट डिपेंड करता है कि हमारा दिमाग कहाँ पे है। हम आश्रम में बैठे हुए अच्छा सोच रहे हैं या एक खराब जगह बैठ के अच्छा सोच रहे हैं। एक ईगोज ही हमें, हमारे हार्ट को नैरो करती हैं। हम किसी की भी अच्छी खबर पढ़ते हैं तो हमारे दिल से जो है जेलसी क्रिएट होती है, हम उसे क्या है बधाई नहीं दे पाते। एकेडमिक्स में अक्सर होता है, हम उसकी कमियां गिनाने लगते हैं। और आपने देखा होगा एक मक्खी कभी अच्छी चीज पे जाके नहीं बैठती, वो हमेशा गंदगी ढूंढेगी और गंदी चीज पे ही जाके बैठेगी। आप कितना ही अच्छा कपड़ा पहने हुए हो, अगर हाथ आपकी उंगली कटी है तो आपकी कटी हुई उंगली पे जाके बैठेगी। तो ये परसेप्शन है। Why this is because we are incomplete in life. There is something lacking in our life. You can judge it through nature. Why? If you see the flowering of the trees, फूल कब आते हैं पेड़ों पे? जब वो कंप्लीट हो चुके होते हैं, तो वो दे गिव टू द वर्ल्ड, फ्लावर्स वो देते हैं। और आप देखते भी हैं कि बहुत सारे एक ही किस्म के पौधे हैं या पेड़ हैं, कुछ पे फूल आ जाते हैं, कुछ पे नहीं आते हैं। तो उसके कुछ
You are frozen, Dr. Sharma. Oh, Dr. Sharma, you're okay. He got disconnected. I think he will return. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we lost you there for a few minutes.
कोई बात नहीं मैम, ये इज अ नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम।
Go
ये
ahead.
समस्या होती है। तो ये if we are showing our means we are not ready to appreciate or accept the good qualities of the people, and we are trying to search the weak points. कहा भी गया है कि अगर मैं आप में कोई कमी ढूंढ रहा हूँ, आई एम सर्चिंग माई ओन सेल्फ इन यू। मैं आपका ही परसेप्शन हूँ, मैं अपना ही परसेप्शन दूसरे की उसमें मैं देखता हूँ। अगर मैं दूसरे को खराब बता रहा हूँ तो वो कमी मेरे अंदर खुद मौजूद है। मैं अपनी ही छवि में दूसरे में देखता हूँ। ये चीजें हमें देखनी पड़ेंगी। हम इतनी दीज थिंग्स आर रिलेटेड विद साइकोलॉजी, एंड आई डू होप दैट वी शुड कवर ए डिफरेंट वाइडर टॉपिक ऑन दिस, व्हाई ईगो इज क्रिएटेड। इस पे हमें जरूर कुछ आगे एक वेबिनार रखना चाहिए। द थिंग आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट द प्रोसेस ऑफ फ्लावरिंग ऑफ ट्रीज, बिकॉज दे आर कंप्लीट। आप देख रहे होंगे कि प्रजाति के जो पौधे हैं वो सभी पे फूल नहीं आता है। कारण क्या है कि कहीं ना कहीं इनकम्प्लीटनेस रह जाती है, कि उनकी जड़ें किसी पत्थर पे जाके अटक जाती हैं, या फिर उन्हें जो है पानी पूरा नहीं मिल पाता है, या धूप पूरी नहीं मिल पाती है। द सेम थिंग इज दैट वी शुड ट्राई टू फ्लावर आवर लाइफ, एंड व्हाट इज आवर लाइफ? इट शुड नॉट बी full of ego. Self confidence is a different thing and ego is a different thing. I, it is related with I am the superior, I am the boss, I am the principal, I am this, I am that. In this way we are creating more circles around our personality, और हम गिरते जाते हैं अपनी ईगोज में। और ये ईगो किसी दूसरे को हर्ट नहीं करती है, हमें ही हर्ट करती है। मैंने देखा है जो लोग कुर्सी से प्यार करते हैं, कुर्सी से अपनी पावर दिखाते हैं, वो रिटायर होने के बाद 2-3 सालों में मर भी जाते हैं, क्योंकि उनकी आइडेंटिटी सिर्फ कुर्सी होती है। यही चीज है। इसी पे मैंने थोड़ा सा कुछ लिखा है, मैं जरूर से आगे नरेट करना चाहूंगा। इसी में आप देखिए, देयर आर सो मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ मोनेस्ट्रीज, आश्रम्स। हम लेक्चर दे रहे हैं योगा पे, स्पिरिचुअलिटी के लेसन्स हो रहे हैं, टेस्ट हो रहे हैं, लेकिन कितने लोग उससे निकल पा रहे हैं? मोनेस्ट्रीज से एक भी जीसस क्राइस्ट नहीं हम निकाल पाए, स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती हम पैदा नहीं कर पाए। क्यों? क्योंकि स्पिरिचुअलिटी इज नॉट ए लेसन और ए बुक टू बी रीड, इट इज एन एक्सपीरियंस टू वी हैव टू गेन, वी हैव टू रियलाइज, वी हैव टू बी कॉन्शियस। तो ये ईगो का क्या कारण है, ये हमें सर्च करना पड़ेगा। यू डोंट हैव टू डू एनीथिंग, यू सिंपली रन on the track and go on running the same desires, the same lust, the same ambitions. The owl is the ego. The same way owl is searching for the dead rats. If you put some good things, it will not look at that. It will only search the dead rats. So that owl is compared with the ego. The mind, when you start meditating, the mind becomes rebellious. The desires has been waiting for so long, and there has been no time, and you are wasting your time. There are so many uncontrolled desires. And then if you are gaining something, then the ego come, I'm this, I am that, I am promoted, I have become this, I have become that. Whenever you start planning, you have divided yourself. You have become two. There are two personalities of you. The one who is controlling, who is guiding you to do, and the one who is controlled. So you have dual personality. One is always saying you do this, you do that, your desires. A conflict has arisen. Now you will never be at peace. You cannot be at peace when you have uncontrolled desires, and that can be to gain the money, or you gain the fame, or you gain the name. So you have a dual personality. You have first, you have to control your desires, uncontrolled desires. You are not one, and beauty belongs to oneness. Means when your personality becomes one and it's become one with the nature and the other human beings, that's the beauty of the oneness. Beauty belongs to harmonious whole. You are not complete. There is some incompleteness in your life. If you are showing some ego, this means you are not complete. Your life is not flowering. Life is not a celebration for you. Flowers come only when the tree has too much. It needs to give it. Now the tree wants to give to the world. It needs to share with the other people. Whenever you have too much, life becomes a dance, a celebration. It is not a thing to have ego. It should be shared. It should be celebrated with the other people. Every child is born overflowing. And you can judge what type of ego a child has. It is just overflowing. Even if you hurt the ego of the child, at the next moment, the child forgets everything. Who will plan? Future is unknown. Future is unknown. You cannot plan your future. What will happen next day, we don't know. How can we plan for the unknown? My question is how we can plan for the unknown. Live only here and now. We are not living here and now. We are not enjoying the present moment. What is life? Life is enjoying the present moment. We have no control on our past. We have no control on our future. We have only these present moments with us. If you plan for the unknown, the planning will come from the past. Past is dead, and the past goes on controlling the future. Life cannot be planned moment to moment. It is moment to moment. There are certain incidents, just like here in India happened that chief of the defense staff, Rawatji's MI helicopter crashed, and this is regarded one of the best helicopter in the world. So we cannot plan what's going to happen at the next moment. Whether you will be there or not, we cannot say by certain what will happen the next moment. Through planning, life becomes more and more unconscious. There are so many theological colleges, monasteries, and they are training so many people. And how many good people are coming out of it, we don't know. They are not talking from the head. They are powering, is trying to empower or instill the egos, the power, the love for money. A wise man lives moment to moment. His life is just free like a cloud floating. Your life should be like a cloud is floating in the sky. The real thing is the beauty of the moment. The real thing is now reaching. The real thing is the journey. The real thing is not destination. Real thing is your journey, how you wants to complete it. And this journey is your life. There is no beginning, there is no birth, there is no death. There is no beginning, no end. This is a journey. Life is a journey. We have to complete it. From no beginning, you have been on the move. The path is the endless path. This is endless path. This life is not the last life. You have to again retake the rebirth and again the same journey, same. Never beginning, never ending. When you have wisdom, there is no need to demonstrate. But when we have only knowledge or degrees or post, then we try to demonstrate or overpower, or we try to show it through our egos. You convince others. When they are convinced, you are convinced that you are the man of knowledge. Then 10 people are saying that you have become a man full of knowledge. You feel that you really have become a man of knowledge. इसी पे एक हंसी की एक इंसिडेंट मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा. एक दृष्टांत है. एक व्यक्ति एक साधु के पास जाता है और कहता है कि स्वामी जी कुछ ऐसा करिए कि सब लोग मुझे ज्ञानी कहें। मुझे पढ़ना तो बिल्कुल आता ही नहीं है और ना ही मेरी पढ़ने की कोई इच्छा है, लेकिन मेरी एक इच्छा है कि सब लोग मुझे ज्ञानी कहें। तो साधु कहता है बहुत आसान है, तुझे एक ही काम करना है, मैं तुझे चौराहे पे लेके चलूंगा, तुझे ज्ञानी कहूंगा, तू मुझे लठ लेके मारने के लिए दौड़ना, मुझे देखा देख दो चार लोग और तुझे ज्ञानी कहेंगे, उनके पीछे भी तू लठ लेके दौड़ना। तो उसकी देखा देख 10-20 लोग और कहेंगे, उनके साथ भी यही हरकत करना, और उसके बाद तो ज्ञानी के रूप में प्रसिद्ध हो जाएगा, हर व्यक्ति तुझे ज्ञानी कहेगा। तो एक तो वो तरीका है, हम इसी तरह से अपने आप को टू whom we are we fooling? We are we fooling ourselves. If you check the Facebook pages of the people, they are filled with I got this award, I got that, today I went in a seminar. They are not talking about the things they have given to the students, they have given to the society. This I is very prevalent from the pages, from the social media, from Facebook pages. You can study it. They are fully full of that. कोई अखबार में खबर आई तो वो पोस्ट कर दी, today this news has been published about me. So what is the importance of that news to your students, to your society? I'm not saying, I'm not criticizing them, they should post it, but they should also post what is the utility of your work towards your students, towards your society. And that's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. We are having only knowledge. संस्कृत में कहा गया है विद्या ददाति विनयम, means true wisdom give you humility. अगर आपके अंदर विद्या है तो आप विनय आपके अंदर स्वयं मौजूद होगा, आपके अंदर ईगो नहीं होगी। विद्या ददाति विनयम. But what we are having only knowledge, a show of knowledge, pomp and show. We have to look at why these things are created. Even in our literature, there is one essay written by Joseph Addison, and the name of the essay is Sir Roger at Church. This essay was written in 18th century in England. उसमें सर रोजर एक चर्च गोइंग पर्सन है जो अपने आप को बाकी लोगों से सुपीरियर समझता है। बाकी लोग जा रहे हैं चर्च में तो उन्हें टोकता है कि आप ऐसे कपड़े पहनिए, वैसे पहनिए, ऐसे क्यों पहने हैं। प्रेयर के बीच में लोगों को इंस्ट्रक्शन देता है कि आपको सोना नहीं है, लेकिन कुछ देर बाद खुद ही सो जाता है। आमीन जब होता है तो सबसे ज्यादा जोर से सर रोजर चिल्लाता है। तो ये ईगो का एग्जाम्पल मैं कहूँ या क्या कहूँ, ये कहना बड़ा मुश्किल है। उसने भी एक स्टोरी नरेट की है, मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन उनका एक करेक्टर रहता है किसी भी चीज को समझाने के लिए, कि मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन नशे में हो गए एक रात में और अपना घर भूल गए और दरवाजे दरवाजे पीटते हुए घूम रहे हैं और लोगों से पूछ रहे हैं कि मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन का घर कहाँ है। एक दरवाजे को वो बजाते हैं और घर से उनकी पत्नी निकल के आती है और पत्नी कहती है, वो नशे की आदत में अपनी पत्नी को भी नहीं पहचान पा रहे। पत्नी कहती है तुम मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन तो तुम ही हो, लेकिन मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन कह रहा है कि लेकिन मुझे तो ये बताओ मेरा घर कहाँ है। ये तो मुझे पता है कि मैं मुल्ला नसरुद्दीन हूँ, लेकिन मुझे ये पता नहीं कि मेरा घर कहाँ है। एवरीवन नोज दिस इज द ईगो। हमें पता है कि हम क्या हैं, लेकिन हम भटक रहे हैं। उस ईगो के कारण हम भटक रहे हैं, ढूंढ रहे हैं अपने घरों को, दरवाजे से दरवाजे हम पीट रहे हैं। तो ये चीज से हमें निकलना है। ये ईगो किसी और को हर्ट नहीं करती। हमें लगता है कि हमने दिखा दिया कि आई एम द प्रिंसिपल। कोई आया किसी काम से और हमने उसे डांटा, हमने दिखाया कि आई एम द प्रिंसिपल। क्या दूसरा तरीका नहीं हो सकता? हम उसका काम बड़े प्यार से बैठाएं, एक कप चाय पिलाएं और उसका बड़ा प्यार से काम उसका कर दें, तब क्या मैं आई एम द प्रिंसिपल नहीं हूँगा? या मैं किसी को डांटूंगा, डराऊंगा, धमकाऊंगा तभी मैं प्रिंसिपल हूँगा या तभी मैं ऑफिसर हूँगा? ये सोचने की बात है। ये वही चीज है, फिर उसी पे आऊंगा मैं, विद्या ददाति विनयम। हमने विद्या ही ग्रहण नहीं की है तो विनय कहाँ से आएगा? हमारी लाइफ ही कंप्लीट नहीं है तो फ्लावरिंग ऑफ लाइफ कहाँ से होगा? सेलिब्रेशन ऑफ लाइफ कहाँ से होगा? हमने दिया ही नहीं है कुछ समाज को तो हमें वापस कहाँ से मिलेगा? इट्स इको इज न्यूटन का नियम है, जो हम जितनी तेजी से हम नीचे फेंकते हैं किसी चीज को, उतनी तेजी से वो वापस आती है। तो हम अगर हर्ट कर रहे हैं लोगों को, अपनी ईगो दिखा रहे हैं, तो वो खराब ईगो हमारे पास ही लौट के आनी है। उससे हम ही हर्ट होंगे। और ये चीजें होती रहती हैं। हम क्या है और ज्यादा सैडिस्टिक हो जाते हैं। हमें जैसे होता है ना, एक लोगों के पिन चुभा दिया, उसे रोते हुए देखना तो हमें खुशी होती है, क्योंकि हम अपने इसका एक साइकोलॉजिकल रीजन ये भी है कि हम अपने खुद दुखों में इतना घिरे हुए होते हैं कि हमें पता ही नहीं होता व्हाट इज हैप्पीनेस। तो हम वही जो है सैडनेस को ही हम दूसरे में खोजते हैं, और दूसरे व्यक्ति में हम वही देखते हैं जो हमारे अंदर मौजूद होता है। फिर वही बात है, यही चीज है कि आपके पास आप दूसरे व्यक्ति को क्या दे सकते हैं जो आपके पास होता है। आपके पास हैप्पीनेस है तो आप हैप्पीनेस दे सकते हैं, आपके पास सैडनेस है तो आप सैडनेस दे पाएंगे। इसी समय मुझे एक रामकृष्ण परमहंस जी एक स्टोरी नरेट किया करते थे, वो ध्यान आ गई है, और बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण स्टोरी है वो। मछुआरिन जो है शाम के समय मछली पकड़ के वो घर जा रही हैं। मौसम खराब हो जाता है, बारिश होने लगती है, उन्हें सामने एक कुटिया दिखाई देती है, और उन्हें लगता है कि हाँ मौसम खराब हो गया है, बारिश हो रही है, तो वो उस कुटिया में जाके ठहर सकती है। वो कुटिया मालिन की थी, मीन्स जो फूलों का काम करते हैं, बेचने का, उगाने का। तो उस कुटिया के अंदर फूल रखे हुए हैं चारों तरफ। वो अपनी जो है मछलियों की टोकरी बाहर रखकर अंदर चले जाती हैं और सोने का प्रयास करती हैं, लेकिन फूलों की खुशबू से उन्हें नींद नहीं आती, क्योंकि उन्हें तो जो मछलियों की गंध है उसकी आदत पड़ी हुई है उसमें सोने की, तो उन्हें फूलों की खुशबू में कहाँ नींद आएगी। तो वो क्या करती हैं, वो बाहर से अपनी टोकरी अंदर ला के रखती हैं, वो गंध बनाने के लिए, जिससे उन्हें नींद आ जाए। तो यही है, दिस इज द रीजन वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट वेदर वी आर फाइंडिंग द फ्लावर्स और वी आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड आउट द नेगेटिविटी, द नेगेटिव एनर्जी। फिर वही चीज है, देयर इज समथिंग लैकिंग इन योर लाइफ इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू फाइंड द evils in others or illness of others. Whatsoever you choose, whether you have or whether you decide not to come, if it is choice, it means half of the heart. मेडिटेशन आप कर सकते हैं, मेडिटेशन आपकी पॉजिटिव एनर्जी आपको चाहिए, और आप इनहेलेशन और एक्सहेलेशन, डॉक्टर मोनिका जी ने बताया है कि हमें गुस्सा आता है तो उससे हम दूर कर सकते हैं, उसे प्रयास करने का। Cowards are always afraid of the opinion of the others. वो हमेशा चिंतित रहते हैं कि बाकी लोग क्या कह रहे हैं, मैं कैसा लग रहा हूँ। और ओशो रजनीश ने तो ये कहा कि दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या है कि लोग क्या कहेंगे। सबसे बड़ा रोग ये है कि लोग क्या कहेंगे। लोगों को तो कहना ही है, आप नहीं करेंगे तो भी वो कहेंगे कि नहीं कर रहे, और आप करोगे तो ये कहेंगे कि आप खराब कर रहे हैं, आपको अच्छा करना चाहिए। एक चित्रकार था प्रसिद्ध, और से बहुत ही मतलब ईगो तो नहीं कह सकते, सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस था कि वो बहुत अच्छा चित्र बनाता है। तो उसके मन में क्या सूझी कि चलिए आज मैं एक चौराहे पे अपना एक चित्र लगा देता हूँ और उसके नीचे एक लाइन लिख देता हूँ, इस चित्र के अंदर जो भी कमियां हो वो लोग गोल घेरा बना दें उसमें। तो उस चित्रकार ने चित्र बनाया बहुत अच्छा और चौराहे पे लगा दिया, और नीचे ये लिख दिया कि जिस भी व्यक्ति को कमी दिखाई दे वो गोल घेरा बना दे उसमें। तो अगले दिन वो जाके क्या देखता है कि सारे चित्र पे गोल घेरे बने हुए हैं ऊपर से नीचे। उसे बड़ा दुख होता है कि मैं तो बहुत अच्छा चित्रकार अपने को मानता था, ये तो लोगों ने इतनी सारी कमियां निकाल दी हैं मुझे। तो वो एक स्वामी जी के पास जाता है कि स्वामी जी मेरी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, मैं बहुत दुखी हूँ, मैंने एक बहुत अच्छा चित्र बनाया था और मेरे अकॉर्डिंग कोई कमी नहीं है उस चित्र में, और उसके नीचे मैंने ये लिख दिया था कि जिस भी व्यक्ति को कोई कमी नजर आए तो वो गोल घेरा बना दे। तो सारे चित्र में गोल घेरे ही बने हुए हैं। तो स्वामी जी कहते हैं कि एक लाइन और आप लिखिए कि जो व्यक्ति भी गोल घेरा बनाएगा और कमी जिसको नजर आ रही है, वो व्यक्ति वो उस जैसा ही चित्र बनाएगा और उस कमी को दूर करके बनाएगा और उसके पास में लगाएगा। तो जब उसने एक लाइन लिख दी नीचे कि जिसे भी जो कमी दिखाई दे वो उस कमी को पूरा करे और चित्र को ठीक करे और ठीक वैसा ही चित्र बनाए और बराबर में लगाए अपने नाम से, तो एक भी गोल घेरा नहीं था। बहुत आसान है दूसरे के डिफेक्ट्स खोजना, दूसरे को बुरा बताना, कमियां खोजना। उन कमियां हम इसलिए खोज पाते हैं कि वो कमियां हमारे अंदर मौजूद है। हम अपने ही, वी आर द मिरर, हम जो है अपनी छवि देख रहे हैं उसमें। दूसरा व्यक्ति तो सिर्फ मिरर है, उसमें क्या दिखाई दे रही है, हमारी ही छवि दिखाई दे रही है, हमारी ही कमियां दिखाई दे रही हैं, और हम उसे थोप दूसरे पे रहे हैं। कि आपके अंदर ये कमी है। तभी आप देखिए हमारी जो सनातन धर्म की जो फिलोसफी, ओरिएंटल फिलोसफी है, उसमें मोक्ष का वर्णन किया गया, उसमें निर्वाण का चर्चा की गई है, उसमें कैवल्य की चर्चा की गई है। और 4 उसमें बांटा गया है कि पहला जो है ब्रह्मचर्य आश्रम है, फिर गृहस्थ आश्रम है, फिर जो है वानप्रस्थ आश्रम है, फिर संन्यास है। वानप्रस्थ का मतलब ये है कि आप थोड़ा सा अपने को डिटैच कर लीजिए फैमिली से, जब आपको लगे कि हाँ आपका गृहस्थ पूरा हो गया है। उसमें ये नहीं है कि आप जंगल में जाके बैठ जाइए, आपका जो चिंतन है वो सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः वाला होना चाहिए। आप लोगों को देना शुरू करें, आपकी जो फ्लावरिंग सीजन आपका शुरू हो गया है, वही संन्यास पीरियड है कि आप समाज को क्या दे रहे हैं। अभी आप भारतवर्ष में देखिए सड़कों के दोनों तरफ इतने 100 वर्ष पुराने पेड़ और फलदार वृक्ष मिलते हैं। आप लगाइए, बताइए इन लोगों, ये वृक्ष को किसने लगाया होगा? आज तो मैं किसी व्यक्ति को नहीं देखता हूँ सड़क के किनारे वृक्ष लगाते हुए। लेकिन क्या फिलोसफी रही होगी कि 100 200 साल 500 साल पुराने पेड़ गांव के बाहर बरगद के, नीम के, ये मिलते हैं और सड़कों पे छाया हो। कुएं मिलते थे पहले कि पानी, कोई प्यासा हो तो उसे पानी भी मिल जाए। तो सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः की जो हमने कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप की और ये सब चीजें दी, उसमें कहीं ईगो का कोई स्थान ही नहीं है। उसमें ईगो कहीं नहीं आता। ईगो तब आती है कि हम विजडम की तरफ नहीं जाते हैं, हम सिर्फ नॉलेज की तरफ जाते हैं। हम हैव यानी चीजों को प्राप्त करने की तरफ जाते हैं, कि हमारे पास ग्रीड की तरफ हम जाते हैं, हम मैटेरियलिज्म की तरफ हम जाते हैं। तो ये हमारी ईगो बढ़ती जाती है। हमारी आइडेंटिटी हम नहीं होते। हमारी आइडेंटिटी हमारी बड़ी बड़ी कारें होती हैं, हमारी आइडेंटिटी हमारे बड़े बड़े घर होते हैं, हमारी आइडेंटिटी हमारी कुर्सी होती है। हम नहीं होते हैं, क्योंकि हमें पता है कि हम तो यूजलेस हैं, हम कुछ है ही नहीं। इसलिए हम क्या है, कोई नया मॉडल आ गया उसे खरीद के हम दिखाएंगे। इसी पे एक स्टोरी मैं और आपको सुनाना चाहूंगा। ओशो से एक प्रश्न पूछा गया था जब वो 1981 से 85 तक अमेरिका में थे, और उन ही हैज वन ऑफ द गिनीज बुक वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड। 93 रोल्स रॉयस कार थी उनके पास। तो किसी जर्नलिस्ट ने उनसे पूछा था कि आपकी 93 रोल्स रॉयस कार आपने इकट्ठा की हैं, जो कि सबसे महंगी कार मानी जाती है, और 93 रोल्स रॉयस कार किसी के पास है भी नहीं वर्ल्ड में। तो एक साधु का, एक सन्यासी का कार से क्या संबंध है? तो उन्होंने जवाब दिया था कि अमेरिका और जो वेस्टर्न सोसाइटी है वो मेटेरियलिस्टिक सोसाइटी है। अगर मैं प्रवचन दूंगा तो मुझे सुनने कोई नहीं आएगा। 93 रॉयल्स रॉयस इकट्ठा की है मैंने, उन्हें देखने लोग आ रहे हैं, और ये मेरी काबिलियत है कि मैं उनका ध्यान उन कारों से हटा के अपनी तरफ खींच लेता हूँ। लेकिन वो आए कारों को देखने ही है, कि 93 रॉयल्स रॉयस कार चल के देखें। ओशो के आश्रम में रजनीशपुरम में है, हमें जाके देखना चाहिए वो कैसे रंग की हैं, क्या उनका साइज है रोल्स रॉयस का। तो ये वो ओशो ने बिल्कुल एडमिट किया था कि ये मुझे सुनने नहीं आए हैं अभी, ये बाद में सुनेंगे मुझे। ये तो अभी कार देखने आए हैं, इनका ध्यान अभी कार में है, और मुझे इनका ध्यान कार से हटा के आध्यात्म की तरफ लेके आना है। ईगो ऑलवेज चूजेस, डिसाइड्स एंड फोर्सेस, and we behave just like monkeys. Monkeys were rebelling, and this man has been a monkey. We have been a monkey. हम monkey की तरह ही व्यवहार करने लगते हैं, और monkey की तरह क्यों व्यवहार करने लगते हैं? उसमें से के हटा दे तो मनी बन जाता है, पैसा ही आता है, पैसा और लालच बन जाता है। पैसा, लालच, पद, प्रतिष्ठा। इवन थॉमस ग्रे ने तो यहाँ तक कहा है, फेमस पोएट है अंग्रेजी के, द पास ऑफ ग्लोरी लीड्स बट टू ग्रेव, कि आखिर में हमें कहाँ जाना है? कब्र में ही जाके लेटना है। हमारी प्रसिद्धि, हमारा नाम आखिर में कहाँ है? कब्र में ही जाके खत्म होता है। तो उससे पहले ही हम अपनी लाइफ को जिए सेलिब्रेशन के साथ, ना कि उसे एक कब्रिस्तान बनाएं। The loss is always felt by the ego. I am losing. Why do you feel you are losing? Because you never wanted to lose. Why do you feel you are a failure? Because you always wanted to be a successful person. Why do you feel you are a beggar? Because you always desire to be emperor. A wise man takes whatsoever is, जो भी उसे मिलता है उसे वो स्वीकार कर लेता है। He accepts the totality of life. वो पूरा जो जीवन की अच्छाइयाँ हैं, जीवन की कठिनाइयाँ हैं, उन्हें वो स्वीकार करता है। उस पे अपनी ईगो नहीं थोपता है, एंड दैट्स द रियल लाइफ. वी शुड ट्राई टू लिव द प्रेजेंट मोमेंट. एंड स्वामी रामदास जी ने तो एक पुस्तक लिखी है, बी हियर नाउ, कि हमें जो कुछ भी है अब है और यहीं पे है. तो इसी के साथ मैं समाप्त करना चाहूँगा और क्षमा चाहूँगा, समय थोड़ा ज़्यादा ले लिया है, लेकिन टॉपिक ऐसा था कि इस पे हम काफ़ी कुछ बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन इस टॉपिक को हम अगर साइको एनालिसिस और साइकोलॉजिकल इलनेस से हम जोड़ के एक और प्रोग्राम आगे करें तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. और मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा. अमिता खन्ना जी हैं, रेणु शर्मा जी कनाडा से, डॉक्टर मोनिका जी भारत टाइम्स की जो एडिटर हैं. प्रयास हम कर रहे हैं, पता नहीं कितना
जी,
सफल
हम
है.
कर रहे हैं और बहुत अच्छा जा रहा है. थैंक यू डॉक्टर राम शर्मा.
जी.
ओके, सो
सभी को धन्यवाद और प्रणाम.
It was very interesting.
Done.
Thank you, Dr.
Yes.
Sharma.
So, thank you, Amita ji, and thank you for joining. And there were just a couple of questions that had come. Let me bring them up. Somebody wanted to know, is the pride and ego are the same thing?
नहीं नहीं, प्राइड तो स्वाभिमान है, अपने आप में प्राइड करिए. both are different. Pride is positive and ego is negative.
Is negative. And what about selfishness?
Selfishness is negative.
Yeah, same as ego, like, okay. All right. So that kind of rounds up our webinar for today. And we will do the one last one next Saturday for the year of 2011. And that will be the Mindful to Mindfulness on Saturday, December 18th, same time, 9:30 a.m. Canada, and it'll be your time, 8 p.m. in Delhi time, India. So we'll all see you then. Until then.
Monica ji.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Namaskar.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Monica ji, are we deciding about that?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we will.